So the thing with Star Wars, though, is that I would argue that right now is the best time to be a Star Wars fan since the 80s.
Okay.
Because right now we're in the redemption arc of Star Wars, where we had the 3-movie abomination, right? And then Disney stepped back. And it really feels like they stepped back and they were like, all right, hold on. How do we fix this? All right, let's promote Dave Filoni, the guy who did the Clone Wars and Rebels, and the guy who can only shit out great Star Wars content, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, let's let him do whatever the fuck he wants. And since he's taken the reins, we've gotten 2 amazing seasons of The Mandalorian, right?
I need to finish season 2.
We got half a great season of Boba Fett. The other half of it was like really weird and whatever, but it wasn't really related to Dave Filoni. He just did the episodes with unnamed character due to spoilers. We've gotten Star Wars Ahsoka is coming out, right? Yeah. And that's that everything Ahsoka touches is a banger.
People love Ahsoka.
Dude, when you hear Dave Filoni's approach to how he got people to love Ahsoka, you understand that Dave Filoni truly understands the Star Wars fan base and truly knew how to write a character for the Star Wars fan base, as opposed to someone who like the people who wrote, I don't know, the sequel trilogy, who weren't really Star Wars fans. I don't know if I've ever explained this to you before, but it's really worth hearing, right? Dave Filoni approached the Clone Wars TV show with the new character Ahsoka in mind. Now, granted, remember this, when Clone Wars first started, it wasn't owned by Disney yet. It was owned still by George Lucas.
Right, the LucasArts.
Yeah. So, he approached the character of Ahsoka with, I'm going to give this character massive innate flaws. That people, and the idea is that people are going to hate Ahsoka when she's first appeared on screen. And he wanted that to happen. He didn't want everyone to see Ahsoka and be like, oh, that's my new favorite character. He wanted you to look at Ahsoka and be like, this little bitch thinks she's going to mouth off to Anakin Skywalker. Fuck her, right? Like, because he knew that any new character he introduced to the Star Wars fan base was going to get immediate backlash. They were going to hate anything new, which they always do. He's right about that. The Star Wars fan base always hates new things. But by giving this character flaws like he gave Ahsoka, he could control what they hated and he could improve upon them, which he did. And this is all in like this amazing, I forget what it's called, this like round table approach.
That's pretty cool.
To Star Wars directors. And then I think it was about like the Mandalorian or something behind the scenes. But through 6 seasons of Clone Wars, you see Ahsoka grow, and then all of a sudden you realize that she's your favorite character. And then, by the end of the Clone Wars, you have Ahsoka fighting Maul, and you're like, this blows anything else Star Wars out of the water. You're like, and she just has a one-on-one duel with Maul on Mandalore, and you're like, holy shit, what is happening? And she's like talking shit to Darth Maul, right? And you're like, holy shit. And then she shows up in The Mandalorian season 2, and you're out of your seat. And she shows up in Rebels, and it's like, these are the best episodes of Rebels all of a sudden. And everything Dave Filoni touches, he's a master at.
Oh, now we're gonna get an Ahsoka movie. Like, is that coming?
We're getting an Ahsoka TV show.
Okay.
Coming. And it's like, I think he's so good at it because he was George Lucas's only real apprentice.
Okay.
Like, he learned from George Lucas. He knows secrets about the Star Wars series from the rule of 2 from George Lucas. So, man, and it's just, okay. I'm super excited about Ahsoka because never in a million years would I thought Ahsoka was going to be my favorite character. Yeah, but it is.
What I'm realizing is like I didn't realize how much I love Star Wars. Like I'm not a I guess it's not openly communicated how big of a Star Wars fan I am, but when I always catch myself like it's on my bucket list. Like I'm very jealous of you. I want to go to Galaxy's Edge. I want to build a lightsaber. I want to get robes. Like I want to do stuff. And like I've been dying to rewatch the entire movies again. Like and I just haven't done it. But like now that I have a bunch of free time, I'm like, let's fucking do it. We're doing it.
Go, dude. Fucking go for it.
So like because I grew up loving Star Wars. They were always my favorite video games. Like some of my favorite video games of all time are Star Wars games. Like I love KOTOR, I love Republic Commando. I grew up playing Super Star Wars. Like I don't know, I just always have loved that series. And when I see new Star Wars stuff, and I'm like, oh, I want to love this, but people shit all over it. I'm like, oh fuck, God, it just feels
Yeah.
like it's getting hard to love your hobby. Like I even love Jedi Fallen Order is like one of my favorite. It's flawed, I know, but one of my favorite Star Wars games like ever. Like it's so like
It is really good.
yeah. So
It
I'm
is really
excited for
good.
the new one. So it's just like I want to be able to
That
still
comes
love
out
stuff soon, real like April, I think April or May. I could be wrong, but uh
April 28th.
yeah,
Yeah, less.
yeah,
About almost
it's
exactly a
coming.
month.